Example, let me take that to both Kamal Nath and Yashwant Sinha, and then we'll cross over to Washington and also talk to Swadesh here in the studio. Kamal Nath, the examples being given is open up defense, open up retail, open up insurance. And again, the question is brought to your government that in the first tenure you had the left as an excuse, now you don't. What's stopping you?
Well, I think we are in the process. We are moving forward, and I am very confident. We had, where retail is concerned, I personally had ensured when I was handling that job that we had opened up almost till the end. And I had said that we got to do it in a calibrated manner because retail in India is absolutely 97% is in the unorganized sector. And there is that great fear of the unknown. The biggest fear is not the fear of the known, but the fear of the unknown. And slowly let people comprehend that this is win-win for India. It is good for India. I personally believe it is good for India. And it has to happen. It will happen, I'm sure about that, because it's in India's interest. It's not necessarily what the US wants. That's right. And we must have access to the United States technologies, United States expertise in this. On the other hand, where defense is concerned, again, other than some of the sensitive areas, I would fully support opening up the defense sector, defense production. There is nothing today other than one sector where there is an element of secrecy, or there's something which exposes us in the defense sector to any risk. Where insurance is concerned, again, I think it's a process of Parliament, and the Prime Minister is determined to take this through Parliament. It's not an executive decision, it will have to be a legislative decision. Yeah. And again, I don't think we are very far from that.
Okay, Yashwant Sinha, the nuclear liability bill as it exists today in part does because of the opposition pressure by parties such as yours, but the American discomfort with it is also quite apparent. Are you disappointed that nuclear commerce doesn't look like it's going to be able to start anytime soon?
Well, Bakha, before I answer that question, I'll take a little of your time in responding to the question that you were just discussing.
Yeah.
We are talking here about investment caps, whether it should be 26% or 49% or 74% or 100%. You know, it's investment, it's not pure trade. So when the US is saying that there are trade barriers, what they actually mean is there are investment caps. And these investment caps have been there. You talked about retail. It's important for me to make the point that I do not agree with Minister Kamal Nath when he says that he feels that retail should be opened up. You know, like agriculture, he understands it because he's been negotiating it. Like agriculture, retail in India is a way of life. The way we have organized it, the way it employs people. Yeah. And you don't deal with way of life in a sudden and forceful manner. It has to be calibrated over a period of time. I mean, I am the person who opened up the insurance sector. Right. And we had to limit it to 26% for reasons which are well known to both Mr. Somers and Mr. Kamal Nath.
Yeah.
Now, therefore, this is the issue of investment. It is not an issue of trade. As far as the nuclear liability issue is concerned, we felt that, you know, the crux of the matter was the fact that the supplier could not be completely let off from all liability, because the experience of the previous nuclear episodes have demonstrated that they have generally been caused by the defects in design and manufacture of the equipment, which was the responsibility of the supplier. And all that we insisted upon was that along with the operator, which in this case was a public sector corporation, and that situation remains because it has not been changed, the supplier's liability should also be established. Yeah. And that's exactly what has been provided for. I do not see any reason why the US should say that these are encumbrances or we are not in a position to accept it. I mean, we have our own experience, they have their own experience, but learning from what happened in Bhopal, I would say the supplier of the equipment cannot be allowed to go scot-free.
I'm going to get